This is another You, Me, and BTC special from the Bitcoin and the Beltway conference. Welcome. Today, we're speaking with two amazing people who have a vision that could change our world. Several people commented that Lamar Wilson and Lafe Taylor gave the most inspirational talk at this conference, and we couldn't agree more. They're the guys behind the Pheeva Wallet, which is considered the sexiest Bitcoin wallet. They're also in charge of the COG Co-op and a few other projects. They're here to tell us all about their work and how they hope to make the world a better place with Bitcoin. Stay tuned for an exciting chat. Your hosts are Tim Baker, John Stuart, and myself, Daniel Brown. Here we go.
Hey everyone, this is the You, Me, and BTC crew. We're here. We're coming from the Bitcoin and the Beltway conference in DC here. We'd like to thank Monero and API Coin again for getting us here completely. So thanks again, guys. We're here talking with the creators of the Pheeva Wallet, Lamar and Lafe. Yeah. So, can you guys just explain just what you guys do? And
So the Pheeva Wallet is the sexiest wallet on Android and iPhone, and also it's a Chrome extension. So we are a cross-platform wallet that's really easy to use. The Pheeva Wallet is developed by a company called Love Will, and then Love Will also works symbiotically with a company called the COG Cooperative. So those two companies work together to create this wonderful relationship around the Pheeva Wallet.
Listening to your talk, you talked a lot about cooperatives and bring that in with capitalism and how you think that companies should be basically giving back to their customers. If you buy into something, or if we buy into something that you guys make, you want to give back to us. Can you explain that a little bit?
Yeah, so the whole idea is potluck capitalism. And the reason why we say potluck capitalism is because instead of the customers just getting a product from us and then using their word of mouth to bring more customers to us, we actually reward customers for doing that, because we feel like that's probably the only marketing that, companies don't pay for, but customers willingly give it out without getting anything in return. And we feel like that can change because we're in a new era of social media and those types of things that allow the customer to actually benefit from the growth of the company.
Yeah, and also we call it basically receiving money before IPO kind of things. People are able to, through the cooperative, able to receive something in return. The way cooperatives work is you get patronage refunds from the cooperative that you joined. For us, we decided to make it free and open to anyone. So instead of just receiving maybe just a discount, which is good, however, maybe you don't want to use that discount at this particular store, this particular item, we're giving back patronage refunds in Bitcoin. So it's just an opportunity for us to reward those that help us. And again, it's a symbiotic relationship with the cooperative. We appreciate the members when they join. We give them software. We work hard to make the best software for them. We take their advice. And again, it's just everybody working together for the greater good.
Yeah, and it solves a huge problem. And that problem is getting Bitcoin into the hands of people. By us basically allowing anyone to join the cooperative, and then we take money from advertisers and however else we get revenue in Bitcoin, and then we spread that back out to those members. It allows those members to get Bitcoin without having to go through a bunch of hoops and jumps to try to figure out how to get Bitcoin into their wallet. So we're trying to also help distribute Bitcoin to as many people as possible to help with adoption. So,
well, one of the ways that you said you were working on distributing Bitcoin a little bit like that and stuff was the ad network, which isn't out yet, I think, but can you just tell us about the ad network and how that would work?
Yeah, so the ad network will basically be an auction-based ad network where people will come in, bid on spots in the wallet, and potentially open it up to people like podcasts and things like that, so we can sell their ads for them as well. But it'll be an auction network. People come in, bid on the ad, we place the ad, and as those people in the wallet look at the ad and they use it or they go and buy the product from the ad, then that ad money comes back into the cooperative. So we're basically taking the extra excess Bitcoin from companies, hopefully like Overstock and these guys who get a ton of Bitcoin in, but don't have a lot of places to spend it because the vendors don't take it just yet. The suppliers or vendors don't take it just yet, and there's not a lot of places to give it to other people as salary or whatever. We can take that in as ad revenue and still spread it out to more people in the community. So
sweet. Well, another cool project that you talked about just a little bit was the Pay It Forward things.
Yeah.
You want to tell us about that?
Yeah, Pay It Forward. There's a company in Lexington, Kentucky called Couple Commonwealth, and they have what is called a Pay It Forward wall. And on the wall, what people can do when they go to purchase their coffee or whatever, they can write down who they would like to donate some coffee to. So they just write down a descriptive, and if you come into the store and you fit that description, then you get a free cup of coffee for the day. So the inspiration came from that, and the idea is just, again, give an economy. One, it makes you feel good to give to somebody, just random strangers. Sometimes it could be anybody you specify. And also, it makes somebody else feel good in receiving it. And from the vendor standpoint, it's good for them because they have a pre-sale on something that they don't have to produce just yet. And again, it's just creates a giving economy to where it's like it's symbiotic, right? It feels good to give and it feels good to receive, and then we're working on ways to track like how this giving can spread, over time. So yeah, it's
how often is the thing paid for? So yeah, it was good.
That's sweet.
Yeah, I mean, I love how you guys are like, I don't know, I guess a lot of people in the Bitcoin community kind of get like hung up on these little issues, and I love how you guys are like kind of getting to what's really important, like getting it into the hands of people, getting stuff done, and like working as a community. I think your talk was inspirational yesterday. It's one of my favorite ones so far.
Oh, thanks.
Yeah.
Thanks.
What have you guys? Conference is almost over. I guess you guys are leaving a little early. So what have you guys enjoyed, especially so far about it?
Okay. I just want to say this and put this on record. I love these type of conferences. I love the community conferences because, it's cool to go to the business ones where everybody's talking business and trying to see who can conquer who and who's going to win what. But the community conferences seem more in line with how Bitcoin is. And I think it goes back to the whole idea of Satoshi in the first place. Like, I don't think he was envisioning like these huge mining pools and things like that. I think he was envisioning everyone having an opportunity and to democratize the financial system by everyone having an opportunity to benefit from it. And I think these community conferences kind of lend back to that. Like, everyone work together, everyone figure out how to, maneuver and make Bitcoin spread to the point where it becomes something that can really help people. And I think that is what's needed right now. I think if we all keep in the spirit of Satoshi and the spirit of democratization and decentralization of our assets, our abilities and everything, but bringing them all together into this massive network that can change the world, that's what these conferences are about. And I really love coming to them. I like the other ones too, but I don't love the other ones.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, and for me, it's just meeting people like you guys.
Yes.
Just meeting real people.
Yeah.
Just having real conversations about what got them started. Met a lot of people that they were just in it just for the ideology. You know, it's like, hey, I'm working hard just to make the world better kind of thing. Of course, everybody says that's the tech thing. I'm in here to prove the world, but people really mean it. So that's why we like these kinds of conferences. Met a lot of great people, had great conversations. We brought our wives. This was one of the best conferences that we've been to personally. The people we worked with, Jason King, MK Lords, Lana, just all those guys, just awesome.
Yeah, and if you understood like Jason, like we saw Jason do some of the realest stuff ever, man. Like people don't want to talk about the things that they do, but Jason literally took one of the extra rooms he had and found a homeless guy on the street and put him in it. And I don't think a lot of people know that. Like, we were there when he was setting that up. That stuff's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, that's awesome. Like, yeah. I'm not sure if a lot of other conference leaders and people who put on conferences are doing that, right? Yeah. But he literally went on the street, found a homeless guy. He said he tried to get a couple of them, but somebody's like, nah, I'll pass. I ain't trying to go in there. But one person took it. And then, was it a woman?
It was a lady.
It was a woman, yeah. So a homeless woman took the hotel, he put her up. I mean, it's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, think about that, man. It's like, that's why we like these kind of conferences, right? Like, it's a different kind of vibe. And like Lafe was saying, it's good to meet people like you guys, and just everybody feels like they're more involved as a community. And hopefully we can spread that community and make it just continue to grow across the nation and show people how they can really take control of their finances, man. Like, you can take control of, you can have your own control and freedom to do what you want to do with what you have, so.
Yeah, I mean, I like what you said. You had said this before when we were talking to you up in the lobby, and then also during your talk, just about like the equalizing effect of a room. So, I mean, you want to repeat that for
Oh, yeah,
all
for
listeners? I mean, I really like that.
Yeah, it's actually Lafe's the one that says it, so I'll let Lafe say it.
Yeah, I
just re-quote Lafe.
Yeah, I met this young dude one time. He was actually from Canada, and he said a room is a great equalizer because when you're in the room with somebody, you're in parity with them. So whenever you're in the room with somebody, don't look at them with the lofty idea. They can be approached because they're entered into the same room as you. So you always got to keep that in mind. If you show up somewhere and somebody's there with you, then that's an opportunity for you to have an open conversation and not be afraid.
Yeah, because they're in the same room with you, so you have the first thing in common.
Yep.
So,
yeah. Well, before we do our last few questions, I want to know. I mean, I'm sure we've already touched on this a lot, but I want to see maybe in just a few sentences, kind of directly. I want to know, what is your vision and what are your goals and everything?
So our vision is to basically spread Bitcoin to the point where people can control, like big vision, control their own finances. Like Love Will wants to create tools to allow you to just be your own bank, be your own financial system, and the world to work together to decentralize the whole banking industry, right? That is what our goal is, our ultimate goal. And through that, by empowering people to do that, I think we will empower the next generation to like come together, because when you're a bank, the partnerships are not between 5 big banks. It's between you and I'm pointing and we on top. between each one of us, right? Yeah, I know you, but yeah, it's between each one of us. And so those partnerships will help us to grow as a community, you know? And I think it will help us to bring the world together. It sounds so like cliche, but it's real. Like, that's really how we believe. That's how we live our life that way. Like, we don't just talk it, we try to like do things to make it work like that. So.
Yeah, and for us, we try to be cognizant to live that way consistently so that as things change, we don't change.
Right.
You know, so that's really the key. Just make sure that you practice what you preach, kind of thing. So.
Yeah.
Sweet.
Yeah, so we always try to ask people if they have any personal stories, I guess, regarding Bitcoin. Like, if you have any funny stories, any times you got scammed, any awesome stories, people you met, crazy things that happened.
Well, I guess our initial introduction to Bitcoin is kind of crazy because we had a game platform company that actually was called Pheeva as well. And we were out in San Francisco and we was talking to a VC, and he listened to us pitch and everything. And then when we finished, he said, "So you guys into virtual currency?" I was like, "Yeah." He's like, "Have you heard of Bitcoin?" And Lafe and I looked at each other like, because we thought he said big coin, right? But we still hadn't even heard of Bitcoin at that time. So it was like, no, we haven't. So we leave the meeting and we, it's on our head like, man, we need to look this up. So we look it up and we see Bitcoin and we read a little bit. We didn't get the white paper. I wish I would have read the white paper right then. But we kind of read the front of the site. The site wasn't, didn't have a lot of information. I was like, they're not doing what we're doing. Like, it was basically Chuck E. Cheese online. Like, they're not doing what we're doing, so we good. We got our own Pheeva token and, da-da-da. So, fast forward, and we hear about it again, and I finally read the white paper, and I was like, oh my gosh, why ain't we looking to this hard then? You know what I mean? So that's probably my favorite story about Bitcoin, is the fact that we kind of overlooked it at first because we were too concentrated on what we were doing, So.
Yeah, and for me, actually, the lady that just left before you guys got here, that we met her yesterday, and to me that was like one of the most inspirational reasons for why we do what we do. She came up to us. She recognized it. She's like, man, I downloaded your wallet today. She said, I came over here specifically to meet you guys. And she was like, I'm a single mother, trying to raise my kids. I started getting into Bitcoin. And she actually showed us her Bitcoin purchases. She said, I started off with $5. Then I was doing this and I started investing it over time. She said she bought it $400. And when it went up to $635, she said I was able to use the difference to pay my mortgage. She's like, it was awesome, and just that basically demonstrates what we're trying to do with Bitcoin is get it into the hands of people, let them see how it works, and for her, it's taking control over her finances. I don't know if you heard her before she left. She said, "You guys saved me hundreds of dollars today," and just that kind of stuff. It's like, wow, that's awesome. Let's replicate that. So that's one of my favorite stories.
Let's have a whole bunch of them keep walking up to it.
Exactly. So,
well, I guess
you can say that's pretty awesome.
That is pretty awesome.
Is that his tagline?
No, he just sometimes.
Say awesome too much.
I said it for you, I guess.
I guess the last thing then, we just, is there any way people should contact you? Websites, Twitter, anything like that? Anything you want to plug?
I mean, we're open book, so Lamar at Pheeva.com, Lamar, Lafe, Lafe, like safe, at Pheeva.com. Hello at Pheeva.com will get both of us. We're Pheeva Wallet, at Pheeva Wallet. We're not at Pheeva. The at Pheeva guy, he's getting a lot of followers because everybody thinks they're at Pheeva. We're at Pheeva Wallet on Twitter. And then Facebook, it's Pheeva Wallet as well. Yep. Facebook.com/Pheeva Wallet. And that's pretty much it.
Pheeva.com, COG Coop.com, COG.com. Yeah. And just look up Pheeva or Lafe
or Lamar or whatever. You can find whatever you want on the internet. We are literally try to be as transparent as possible. We ain't had nobody. So
awesome. Right, thanks again for the talk, guys.
Yep.
Yeah, thanks. Appreciate it, man.
Lamar and Lafe from Pheeva Wallet. Thanks for joining us.
Yep.
Yeah, and you, me, and BTC. Check it out.
Thanks for listening to another You, Me, and BTC special. Remember that 75% of all the tips received for our Bitcoin in the Beltway interviews will go directly to Sean's Outpost. All of the music in today's show was from John Stuart. We'll see you next time.